Morning everybody, how are you doing? Well, last time I spoke to you I was going away on holiday up to the northeast and I was lucky enough to get some really good weather, which was fantastic, and I would recommend anybody, if you haven't got any leave booked yet, take it, because yeah, even though we're back in the swing of things now, it really did make a difference. And thankfully our neighbours popped in every day and watered the garden and nothing was lost. In fact, did a better job than we do, I think, really. And I'll give you a tour in the garden in a minute and show you how things have kept progressing. We've also got a video from Vicky this week, from her allotment, and showing us how to sort of spread the seeds to make sure that your courgettes grow. I know it's late in the season now, but it's never too late, so stay tuned for that. And I've got a little video as well from my dad's allotment, which shows what he's been growing there. So it'll be a short trip around the garden to make sure we fit all that in. But I want to say before we finish up, good luck everybody next week for results week. It's the first time we've had a results week all in 1 week, and it's really a culmination of a lot of hard work by a lot of people over the last year or so. Whether you work on VQ, BTEC qualifications, or our GQ, A-levels, GCSEs and international quals, well done for all the work you've done, and I really hope next week goes well for you. And I'll be in London on Tuesday and Thursday to see as many of you as possible who are in the office. But for now, here's the garden. So let's have a quick spin around the garden. This week it's going to be mainly about produce rather than flowers. So we had one lot of carrots last week, and these are ready to come up as well. And there's at least 2 meals, probably 3 meals there, which is nice. Just skim past, really nice bit of cosmos here. There's more to come on cosmos. We've got our courgettes here, our yellow courgettes, and if you stay on and watch, Vicky showing us how to make sure that you get these from these. And spinning round lots of tomatoes at the moment. Every bush of tomatoes has got something on it, which is fantastic, and depending on which variety we've got, they're going to be either yellow or red. And some of them are huge, and it's fantastic to see them all. Yeah, everything here is starting to go, but the cosmos, my favourite plant, and all its varieties, looking lovely. There we go, and the last one, a new variety to us. I've got the name of it now, but a really nice and different sort of structure to it. A lovely bright orange. And walking along, more tomatoes, more tomatoes, and more tomatoes. So we're going to be knee deep in those later on. The sweet pea, because we were away for that week, it's gone to seed now, and it's a losing battle from here on in, really. So we're going to keep snipping off the stems and putting the flowers in jars and vases. But actually, we're probably about 2 or 3 weeks away from this looking a little bit straggly and then coming up. But for now, it's still got flowers and still looks lovely. Salvia amistad, which is a lovely, another great colour. More tomatoes, of course. And at the back we've got our beans, which is still just coming through. And if you again stay on watching, there's a little shot from my dad's allotment of how to grow runner beans and French beans, but ours look good, and they're nicely trailing up the trellis, which is makes it look nice. Got chilies here, not as good as David's, but we're getting there. I'm happy with those, and different varieties. Nasturtiums had a bit of colour to this part of the garden, which is good, and just keep your eye out. Every now and then you see a little caterpillar, and up to you. Either flick them off, get rid of the leaf, or leave it be and let it turn into either a moth or a butterfly. And you've got hoverflies in here as well, and they're great. They're great for eating pests. So if you've got aphids in your garden, there's a good chance that this lot are feeding on them. So don't always be nervous about aphids in the garden. They'll come and they'll do the work for you. Soft fruit, we're pretty much finished on soft fruit now. The black berries are starting to come in fruiting, and we may have some autumn raspberries, but generally the gooseberries and the black currants are all gone now. And then circling back into here, loads of nasturtiums, and if you can eat flowers, but also there'll be seeds as well you can plant next year or eat. I can't see any straight away to show you, but next time I'll show you what they look like. And we'll finish, as before, on some more tomatoes.
Hello there. Neil asked me to show you how to go about pollinating flowers on courgettes. Well, I'm not at the allotment at the minute, I'm in the greenhouse, which you can see is doing quite well in terms of tomatoes. Some more red than others, and then you have the stress of, are these going to go red by the end of the summer? But what I've also got in here is cucumbers. So I've got cucumbers growing in a grow bag, 3 plants, and the same applies pollination wise to cucumbers as it does to courgettes. And let me show you what I mean. So this flower here is an example of a male flower, and the reason you can tell is because they've got like really tiny skinny stems. They are never going to fruit, they're just the male flowers. And then you've got female flowers, which this this cucumber is obviously well on the way, and the flower that it would have had is a female flower. So what you can do, so some cucumbers and courgettes are self-pollinating and you don't need to mess about with it, but what you can do, sometimes you get stunted fruit, and that's probably because of a pollination issue. So what you can do is you can be like a bee and help nature along a bit. So here's a cucumber that's on its way and it's still got its female flower on it, and then what I need to find is a male flower. Here's one up here, if I can figure the camera out. Yeah, so that's a male flower because it's not going to have a fruit on it. So what you can do, be like a bee, get a little paintbrush, get pollen, and then be like a bee and just pollinate that flower. I keep my greenhouse open, so it's got a little window which is getting a bit overrun with tomatoes. I can see some pesky side shoots in there as well, but I also keep the door open, and then that is entirely for not just to stop it getting too hot, but also to make sure the pollinators can get in. But if they don't, you can be like a bee and help them along.
Hi there. Well, as promised, here's the allotment, but I never really came here very often as a kid. Every now and then help out, but the garden and the allotment wasn't something I really cared about very much because I was off playing football and listening to music, all those sort of things, and studying every now and then. But now I don't think there's any place I'd rather be, so it's lovely to come here. It's a safe place to come and visit them. He's 81, so you know, you've got to make sure it's a safe environment. But we've had a great day here. Stealing all of his produce, so runner beans and summer raspberries, some plums and things like that. But it's just lovely to be around all this greenery and all this fruit, especially when you're in a garden like ours, which is not big, not small. I admit that either, but yeah, somewhere you can really grow into. So yeah, I'm going to take you around and look at the ancient Bramley apple tree and the runner beans, and that'll be it for today. But I thought I'd just introduce a bit of my heritage about where my gardening genes come from, I suppose. So here at Dad's allotment, and I'm underneath the Bramley apple tree. Now this is a cutting he took from his dad's garden, he says about 50 years ago, and if you look above me, there is plenty of apple and plenty of branch. Not the sort of thing a farmer would have in their field because it's hard to pick it, but yeah, this goes back 50 years here. And then he said he didn't know how long his dad had it in his garden or where it came before that. So this is an old tree, and in my hand here I've got a cutting he's just taken from it. So snipped from the bottom, taken off all the not side shoots, but side branches, and we'll be sticking this in the soil back at home, just below these branches here, and we'll keep pace on that and see what's going on with it. And we're going to take another cutting from another one of the trees that was done at the same time, which has been better kept, and we'll see how that gets on. But yeah, all very exciting. And here I am amongst the green beans and runner beans, either side of me, surrounded by these lovely little orangey red flowers, and there's a bee there enjoying getting into the flowers. But yeah, you can see to start here of a little bean, and over the coming weeks and months we'll have hundreds and hundreds of these here at the allotment. We've got a handful at home, which is always nice. Well, thanks for watching this week. I hope you're all well, and I hope you have a lovely weekend. Next time, will be the end of August. I'll be nearing another little break, another little holiday down to Devon to see my sister. So we'll see how the garden looks then. It should be just full of tomatoes really, and other produce, and we start sort of harvesting everything. All the hard work has been worth it. But as you can see behind me, it's a very, very, very verdant garden, and I hope your garden looks the same wherever you're growing it and however big it is. But for now, enjoy your weekend and see you next time.